I was going to do a Battletech video on me gearing up for ilClan. I wasn't planning on making 2 videos, but I'm going to make a second video. This is not the fun video. This is not the video I wanted to make. But it's a quick explanation because I thought that people out there knew about Dark Age and had full knowledge of the scenario. I did play MechWarrior Dark Age for the beginning year it was out. I got very sick of it very quickly for reasons I'm not going to go into right now. But I'm just going to discuss the Dark Age setting and its origins and what my beef with it is. And then I'm going to go into the ilClan setting, and I'm not going to talk up ilClan. I'm going to talk about the faults of ilClan here. So this is going to be a not fun, information only video that I really don't want to make, but I might as well make it. MechWarrior, the Dark Age, and the Dark Age setting is the result of the fall of FOFSA, which happened in 2001, 2002. And in 2002, late in the year, this game was released. Now the Jihad and the Dark Age setting were kind of a lore reset for Battletech. If you look into all the detail behind the scenes, the original creators really had a desire to bring it into video games and to have an audience for tabletop that was closer to like a wide audience. The funny thing about the MechWarrior Dark Age is it was a collectibles miniature game. There was a Gatcha aspect to it where you bought a random sealed box that typically only had like, what was the best thing to say about it? See these things here, the vehicles and the infantry? Yeah, I mostly had clan battle armor in my selections. This is what you played with. And occasionally you played with these because there was like one of these mechs in every set, a vehicle or 2. And I think it was a vehicle, a mech, and then like 2 or 3 infantry. Sometimes you would get lucky and there'd be 2 smaller vehicles or some crap like that. Sometimes you'd get really lucky and you'd get an actual mech. Although some of them look really bizarre compared to the originals, like that's supposed to be a Panther and this is supposed to be a fire starter. The Mad Cat 3. Yes, I had a Mad Cat 3. I had to trade for it because there was no way in hell I would pull it. I spent like a good $120 on this game, and after that I thought, I have all this random stuff that I don't want to use. And I was still used to the idea of when you play a game, you pick a faction. But I had all this random stuff for all the factions, so I had to trade with people. So it took me a while to buy and trade stuff and just buy stuff from people directly. I actually bought singles from individuals. It's a clicks game, which means you have to pick up and move the miniature off of its position on the map to move the dial around to operate the miniature. And since this was not a hex-based game, where you knew where the position was of the mech before you moved it, or the infantry or whatnot, you could fudge the movement of your mechs. And I had it done against me quite a bit. And then I just started doing it because it was the meta. It's like you always picked up and replaced your stuff in a more casual fashion. So no one really cared about it. You were just always sneaking an extra 1/8 of an inch that eventually became a full inch. And you know, people just cheated the hell out of this game because you could. It's MechWarrior the Dark Age. And it was designed for people who wanted to buy blind. This is the original site they had, and they're talking about it. These are the thoughts they had going into the game. I mean, they talk about great fast-paced action that the classic players are used to. No, the classic game was chunky peanut butter on a chunky peanut butter sandwich, and it was thick and full of that crunchy, you know, to the wall flavor. The new game was store-bought Doritos by comparison. You open the bag and you got what was in the bag. You couldn't make the sandwich yourself. Proper selection of units for immediate gameplay right out of the box. Well, not if you wanted to play your faction. You could get a random bunch, but if you wanted to play your faction, the thing is, nope, you got to do trading first. That was MechWarrior the Dark Age, as the game was considered. Now let's just talk about, this is Dark Age, the setting. So we have this, which is, you have standard foot and peasant companies and, you know, basic vehicles kicking around for the most part with the repurposed mechs. And this is the meat of Dark Age. This is what Dark Age is really all about, is the little guys finally having their time to shine in a war of garbage as the HPG networks shut down and jump ships are now responsible for everything. But we have these super state-of-the-art mechs that came up around during the Dark Age. Funny thing is, the Dark Age era is claimed to be 3082 and onward, according to this part of Sarna. Then you go over to this, and the Dark Ages claim to have started in 3132. Okay, now that's just conflicting information just right there. I guess you could say that the Dark Age that was supposed to be the blackout setting started taking place in 3132. So there is this chunk of time back here in the 3082 plus setting that isn't the Dark Age. Okay, however it turns out, I don't really want to mash the inconsistencies, but they are there. And the funny thing about it is that you still have, let's look at the manufacturing timeline on Sarna and just roll through all these technologies. Look at that. The Tomahawk 2 was released in 3082. All of these technologies released over this Dark Age. Now, yeah, I'm gonna agree that like 70% of these are just gun trailers or a Gorgon carrier. Yeah, they're not mecha, but some of these are some pretty nasty high-end mecha that where are they making these things? What are these for? Like the 1%, the richest of the rich boys? Why then not play a game where you just default to playing the rich boy stuff and leave everybody else who wants to coddle around in the dirt with industrial mechs? Let them play the industrial mechs. When the time comes for us to fight, we can take our vastly superior mechs and go stomp the hell out of a bunch of industrial mechs. If that sounded like fun to you, you're a sick person. No, I believe in Norseman-style challenges. If I have a badass mech that's, a supreme being of technology, let me fight other supreme beings of technology. People who like picking on peasant companies and, these little shitty things, people who think beating up those is a good fight, it's sad. Because I didn't want to go beat up peasants with my high-tech war machine. I wanted to fight other high-tech war machines because battles between high-tech war machines are cool. Literally. Have you watched science fiction? The Dark Age era has this weird dichotomy where what's it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be the Exarchs and Republic of the Spears holding their giant silver cocks high? Or is it supposed to be a battle in the dirt with these? Is it both at the same time? Because I can guarantee you that when, the Archons of the Sphere start rolling through, repurposed vehicles are not going to stand a chance against the might and glory. Hardened armor is going to have something to say about the peasant companies. It's not going to be pretty. I appreciate Dark Age settings for the grittiness of it. I don't ever want to live through a Dark Age in real life. They are disgusting, horrible times. And it's better to have good things and live in a good world than it is to live in a Dark Age apocalyptic world, despite what the sheltered people who think Dark Age stuff is cool think. I like shiny stuff. Shiny stuff is cool. And it has its own special place, if you ask me. They're in a different world. They really are in a different world. This is the Dark Age, and difficult to live through, and you have to scavenge up with random stuff you pull out of a blind box. And then there's sex in a can. They don't really belong in the same gameplay area. I can imagine like the prissy areas of the Republic of the Sphere having these things, and maybe this was a clan thing, maybe because of the weird way that Battletech works, their ultra communist, super yiffing tendencies led to the amazing construction of awesome war machines instead of the hyperinflation, breadlines, genetic disorders, and wild STDs that would normally bring along. We have this thing where how do you get to where you can just play these awesome war machines in awesome combat against each other? Well, I guess you have another lore reset, which is essentially why I agree with people who say that I said it myself, didn't I, in the first video? ilClan is essentially Clan Invasion 2 Electric Boogaloo, but this time the prize really is the Sphere of Terra. There's no distraction on Tukiyid. I agree with those people who really think this should be like an alternate setting, like an alternate timeline or something. If you didn't want your universe to be trashed by the coming of the ilClan, I can kind of agree with you. There's a lot of reasons why I could see the ilClan being something that really should exist in its own dimension, as opposed to being something that's proper part of, gee, we get to go smash peasant companies like the rest of the spoiled brats who wanted to wield super expensive war machines against poor people. That's why I thought better of ilClan when I first heard it was coming out. Now, the Dark Age supposedly starts in 3132, according to this Sarna page. So its time is nowhere, because ilClan starts a mere, 20 years later? It's supposed to be what, 3151? So when it comes to the ilClan setting, it's technically already up and running. It's got one book that describes the actual invasion of Terra. I'm not going to spoil which clan became the ilClan, but you can pretty much guess, give a nice big healthy guess. I can go and instead buy the ilClan TRO when it comes out. Those recognition guides are going to become obsolete here relatively shortly. I do like the fact that those guides do have other sheets that are usable in other eras besides just ilClan. They're not, I double checked it, it's not just stuff for, you know, ilClan shiny, it's also other eras as well. I'm thinking that the way they're going to work it out now is that the ilClan era is not going to be about the Battle for Terra Part 2. It's not going to be about this. It's going to be about what comes after. The ilClan's been established, and now we get to fight the ilClan, or support the ilClan, or, you know, do things in complete ignorance of the fact that the ilClan exists because we live out in the deep periphery, and we have bigger scorpion-shaped problems to deal with. Something like that. I didn't expect ilClan to be perfect. I looked at the past history of Battletech and knew that perfection was too much to ask for, but it is here. I had high hopes for ilClan. I have hope for ilClan now. I'm not going to call it high hopes just because this is Battletech. We've seen what kind of stuff they did in the past with their game. These things don't belong in a Dark Age. These are Renaissance mechs. If anything, we should rename the ilClan, you know, the Renaissance period. It makes me lose faith to just look at it and realize it's just another reset of the setting. And so I'm going to step away from the lore and just play a game where, hey, I have all these technological choices, and we can mix the tech bases now because that makes more sense than having the clans always have superior stuff. So that was my beef. I'm going to go ahead and put it into a summary, which I'm going to spot in this video, so if you need a summary, here it is. Dark Age was the result of a fallout and the destruction of Fossa as a game company. And every piece of lore you see coming past that, the end of the FedCom Civil War, the Jihad, the Dark Age lore, it's all an attempt at a setting reset. And so, weirdly enough, is ilClan. ilClan is essentially just Clan Invasion 2. It's probably going to be a setting that's based on this being the back history as opposed to this being the meat of what the setting's about. We have a new setting. We can play with high tech all the time and have fun doing it. We have a separate setting for Dark Age where I don't know why you would play with the big stompy, you know, bull kicking machines and go laugh while you're killing little peasants. You're a horrible person if that's why you want to play Battletech. If you want to play Mercenary Company and Bandit Company with forest mechs versus each other, I have more respect for you. I have 1,000 times more respect for you. And I'm actually going to listen to your comments before anybody else who's like, no, you could still play a Mad Cat 2 Mark IV in the Dark Age. No, fuck you. I mean, I own one of those things. I'm going to talk about it in my next video. It is not a safe machine for children. Yeah, people have had confusions about, gee, I hate the Dark Age inexplainably. No, it's based on the meta behind it. That's when they cut the game in half. Yes, it would be a great setting if it was handled correctly. Those blind boxes, though, still have factions on them, and they're still introducing satanically high levels of tech for some goddamned reason. Those don't belong in a setting where your average mech is either an outdated old light mech that got cobbled together, or it's a vamped up forestry mech that happens to have a small laser and a medium laser strapped to the other side of it. That's different. That's not the same thing as a Tomahawk 2. I still like Battletech. Man, we have a broken fan base, we really do. We have some trolls, we really do. We have some grognards, we really do. I would like to put myself in the camp of people who just want to have fun. But it's hard to have fun when it rains piss all the time in your neighborhood. It's one of those things where I really, really want to have fun and appreciate this game and enjoy it with other people, outside of a historical context. And this won't just be the era of cash grabbing and senseless resets. I have hopes, and I hope the rest of you can carry that hope with me too.